Not everybody is going to have your best interest in mind about building your business. And you have to understand that, okay? And you get to fight against that. My name is Michelle M. Trey Hollis, and I am here in the borderland, and I am in school right now at UTEP, University of Texas in El Paso, for media advertising and marketing. I am attending school full time, still looking for employment because I am on unemployment at the moment. So when I got let go from my job in July, it just, no, they're still one of my clients that I do work for. So it's nothing like that. But I still did have to pivot, and I decided to go back to school personally. I also am working with like 4 different local brands to help them to, basically as an affiliate, and I needed to take a couple of months off to really get school started properly before I could really dive into how I'm going to cycle these products and help these brands to grow locally. Okay. But my point in saying all that, it's not about me, it's about you. You need to realize that not everyone's going to understand that it takes a lot to get something off the ground. So I'm here to tell you that if you are starting a business, and by the way, the things I'm talking about, I'm not even talking about the fact that I'm working with a Grammy award-winning artist and still working on my passion too. So I see that there's a way to do this in a way to channel this information in a way that does not have to fight against each other, but it takes time to design. Okay. Now, if you have a restaurant, if you are a medical practice, and you are, being of service in the world and in your community, and you're getting something off the ground, you're not going to be available like you were before you started. And if you are trying to be available now, like you were before you turn the lights on and put your shingle up and said you're open for business, then you're gonna fail. I'm just gonna be honest. Okay. You need to make sure that you have a support team around you that understands, that your friends and your family, they understand that you are building something. And not everyone is gonna understand that. And you are going to, I'm just gonna be frank, you may lose friends over it. I'm 44 years old. I thought I was past this. I literally just lost a friend because I'm like, dude, I'm busy. If people don't understand that that sometimes you can't be available for them all the time, like that sometimes you need the support, then they're not really your friends. I'm sorry to say. And this is like a real take. This is serious business. And it's true. And don't feel bad about that. And that's why I'm here to tell you here in the borderland, there are spaces for you that will help you. And that's why networking is important and surrounding yourself. I will highly recommend joining the League of Business, or at least attending some of their events. They have events that are for members, and non-members can just join by the event, and you just pay separately for the event. And I'm trying to tell you, there are people out here who are hustling just like you are, and they understand. They're not going to hold it against you. They're not going to act like you are selfish, when in turn, they really are being the selfish ones. And you get to understand that once you commit to building something, once you commit to creating a business, that you're making it's like you're committing to a baby. Are your friends going to get mad at you because you don't have time to talk to them because you're helping a baby to grow? Ask yourself that. Like, you better treat this business that you're putting your time, energy, resources into. You have to treat it like a brand new baby. Like, that's the kind. You don't have time for small talk. You don't have time to talk about the cosmos. You know what I'm saying? And don't ever make anyone feel bad that you're in a different space than them. And especially, and then on top of that, with everything going on in the world, like, for instance, I was getting triggered on Facebook. I realized I needed to pull back from social media. So now, but guess what? That means that I get to give more serious, real support, long form content here on YouTube now. And that's what I'm going to do, because I can talk more about real stuff. You know what I'm saying? And all my other channels, I'm just going to use to point people over here for now, because you have to realize that you don't have time to be on social media like that. And it's funny because I'm a social media person. I'm going to tell you that you're going to be able to make better connections on social media, but we get to be strategic and intentional about how we show up and about how we engage. Because I definitely lost a few friends over the past few weeks. And, you know, am I going to cut everybody off that thinks differently than me? No. But sometimes you have to show yourself, okay? And this is definitely a personal development conversation. Sometimes you have to show yourself that you're serious and that you care more about your morals and values than you do about trying to appease everybody. If you're someone like me, or else you'll never stand in your power. And it's okay to stand for something in this world. You know, you can be on the fence if you want to, but personally, if you're one of those people that can do that, by all means, go for it. But if you're more like me, who you have to be true to yourself, then sometimes that's the easiest way to be true to yourself and to keep the peace. Okay. You know, on a hour scale to where you're not making a whole bunch of posts, because sometimes it's easier for you to just cut certain people, like certain triggers off. And that is your reward. That's your thing. You know what I'm saying? Because in the Bible, Jesus even says, you know, that the people who are pompous and who quote scripture to be big and loud, that will be their reward. You don't want that to be your reward. So you don't need to fight that. Sometimes it's better for your energy to cut certain conversations off. And then you can focus more on, but then once you have to unfollow someone, it probably means you've been on social media too much. But I want you to exercise your right to unfollow, because that is a louder, more definitive, and less confrontational way of showing yourself that you mean business about your energy and about your focus, rather than making long posts. Now, I'm the queen of long posts. If you know me on Facebook, you know this. And I just realized, I'm like, you know what? I'm doing these long posts because I'm still connected to these people, and it's my way of talking to them. And honestly, that's giving them too much information. They don't need to know all that. Block. But that's not for everyone. And but that also lets me know it's a cue, like, okay, you've also been on social media too long, because the stuff should not be triggering you like that. So you're looking for your validation through this instead of actually doing the work you need to do, which means that it's time for you to shut that down too. And so that's what I would recommend. Anyways, I hope you have a great day. Have a great week. And just remember that this business is your baby. You get to, if you try to put everything first, you ain't going to get nowhere. And I literally almost quit. University. I thought I was going to fail. Like literally on this past Sunday, I thought I was going to fail out of school. And now I'm A's and B's, because my mind was too many places, and I had to get definitive, and I had to say, look. And that's where my friend got mad at me, because I did not call her back right away, and I couldn't squeeze in time to talk to her. And I'm like, you don't realize I'm failing. Like and I literally was failing. On Sunday, I didn't even turn in my whatchamacallit on time. What am I trying to say? On Sunday, I didn't I had a paper due that I did not turn in. I fell asleep trying to do it because I was trying to be too perfect. So I woke up, I'm like, dude, and it's one of those classes where these journals that's the only homework to do. And I lost one of them, which was going to bring me 10% down. So I'm stressing. But you know what? In the morning, I woke up and I said, fuck it. I wrote my professor, and I wrote the paper right there and sent it in. So it was like 8 hours late, 9 hours late. And guess what? I looked yesterday and he said, don't worry about it. I understand. I got a 9 out of 10. I did not quit. I did not quit. Don't quit just because you make a mistake. And don't let anyone else tell you what kind of stress, what you're supposed to do with your stress. How dare somebody try to make me feel bad because I'm overwhelmed, and instead of even questioning once, didn't question once, like, hey, are you okay? Like, you're not acting like yourself. Instead, it was like, poor me, poor me, poor me. Like, don't get me cussing on here. I'm just saying that don't make somebody make you feel like that. You know, I wish her the best. God bless her. I wish her the best, but how dare not even once think to ask, are you okay? You're not, this isn't like you. Instead, it's, if you can't squeeze time, I'm like, bitch, you're not my girlfriend. Like, what the, like, we're not dating. I'm not lesbian. I'm bisexual. I'm not lesbian with you. No, no, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not me. So why are you acting like that? I didn't even, and I'm like, you know what? We're not aligned. She said, absolutely we're not, because I don't know what you're doing. Like, you need to get it together. And you know what? I pray perhaps it's just hormonal, whatever, but I don't have time for that. And I'm sharing my personal situation so that you know that you don't have to feel bad about that. You do not have to feel bad about putting yourself first. And no person who really can. And then she blocked me on everything. I'm like, I mean, I don't even know about everything, but I'm assuming because I hadn't even been on social media. But and I went on TikTok yesterday, and I just saw in my messages like, this user's not available. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, goodbye. If I trigger you, bye. Because just like I told her, I said, I'm in a season right now where there's going to be blocks of times where I can't talk to you. And that's completely like, if you're going to be unreasonable enough to expect me to be available for you every time you need me, but then when I need you, and there's even a deeper story, but when I need someone to talk to about something heavy and you can't hold that space, like, that's crazy. People are wild, bro. But anyways, I just wanted to share with you my personal story, because please know that you don't have to go through these moments alone, that you do have people that will hold space for you to do your thing and to have your space. And then at the same time, we'll be able to come together and talk and move forward together. And there are those spaces available. That's why it's important that you connect into networks like that if you don't have that personal support. Because yesterday at school, my friend Arlette Morales from the League of Business, the founder, she was doing a speech at school, and it was an hour before my math class, and I didn't have, any class or conflicting. I'm like, perfect. So I went there yesterday, and I swear I could have cried because God puts the right people in your life every time. And just hearing her talk, and she's been a friend to me and an inspiration for years. I just joined the league this year, but I've known her, and she's been as welcoming and inclusive and loving and thoughtful before I became a member. She was someone that I considered a colleague, and now I'm beginning to consider her a true friend, because we've been through misunderstandings, miscommunications, because it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, how real somebody is when you can have a miscommunication and you can resolve it through communication. But if you cannot resolve something, if you have a disagreement or a misunderstanding and it makes things worse, then that's not really a friend. That's not a friend. If you have someone who demands too much from you and doesn't respect your space of whatever you're going through in your life, then you're not on the same wavelength. And that's why I can fully say without a shadow of a doubt that the League of Business Every single aspect of it is an incredible network to be a part of. I could have cried yesterday. God just knew. And I said, see, just even hearing her, like I literally had to choke back tears a few times during her speech because she just told her story. And she's just such a wonderful person that I literally can cry sometimes because she has understood me where I've miscommunicated or I can be a lot of energy, and she has held that space for me and understood that. And then she could be a lot of energy, and I've held that space for her. And that's just beautiful, like it's just great to have real people in your life. That's just all I got to say, like that. You have to have real people in your life while you're doing business, or else you are going to have an impossible time. And that's all I have to say about that. So have a beautiful day. God bless you. I hope that you make the most of your day. If you need somebody, if you want a community, make sure you reach out to me. You can reach out to me here on YouTube. Put community in the comments, and I will do my next video will be about the different events that are going on that I know of in the next month. And also, and I'll try to do that every week. I'm going to start trying to do that every week because, again, I'm getting off of the Facebook, the Instagram, social media, that fast fashion content. I'm getting off of that because it's not serving me, and then I'm not serving you as a result. So I'm going to do more intentional segments here. And by the way, I am back on an A and B in school. I focused through, I gave my all. I did not compromise my integrity and myself. And now I went from having an F, literally having an F on Sunday in all of my classes, to now having A's and B's. So please understand, sometimes you're going to have to put yourself first. This first 3 weeks of school was terrifying for me. I literally thought, I'm failing this. And I literally was, all the way up till Monday morning. And then up until yesterday, when my very last class, I went to tutoring on Monday. I got my math, breezed through my math, and I was like, oh, I'm not doing so bad after all. I have a buddy in math class who came up to me after class one day and said, hey, you want to start doing homework? So we've been doing our homework right after class every day. I'm like caught up on math. I'm an A student now again, and I have tutoring to go to, but me and him just work together and we breeze through when I say breeze, it takes us about an hour. But I have a system now, but it took a while. You're going to be bad before you're good, but you have to give yourself the time, the grace, and the focus to bring it back all together. So don't be discouraged. Know that these things happen. Know that your commitment is to yourself and your goals, and you have friends, and you will have friends that also have their own goals, their own families, their own lives, and they're not going to hold you to be everything for them, because you can't. And I'm sorry, in this world, we can't do that. And that's just all there's to it. Okay, have a great day, and stay tuned to 5-Star Conversations in the Sun City. We're going to have real conversations over here. We're going to really connect together as a community. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm doing. 5-Star Conversations in the Sun City is for me to combat all the negative news. It's for me to help bring the people in the community together who want to make a difference. It's for us to do the spiritual work, to do the mental work, to connect in, to engage with each other so that we can't be easily divided. That's the smart way to do it. I'm not going to fight social media. I'm going to connect door to door, hand to hand, person to person, eye to eye. All right. I love y'all. Peace. And remember to be in harmony of sound, mind, body, spirit, soul, and money with the high five to the vibe. 5-Star Conversations. We'll see you next time.